Everything is well? You are here to trade? Not to cause trouble? This one is sorry he must ask, but it pays to be careful, no?
You know, you're acting kind of nervous. Your eyes are kind of glossy. You want to step out of the car so we can do a preliminary evaluation on your intoxication level? In fact, how much have you had to drink tonight? Where are you coming from? Where are you going to? There's some crimes that happen throughout the city, and if I can place you there at that time, then I can charge you for it. So let's see. Where are you coming from? Where are you going to? How long were you there? Why were you there? Where are you going to? Why are you going there? Why are you so nervous?
Bandits are attacking merchants on the road. Karpusa got smart and hired mercenaries, but they can only do so much.
Is it always scary like this to be in this area? Or is it only during this administration that's caused the fear and terror of all to lose their minds and make this a dangerous place to be?
The storm, it causes chaos, disrupts the regular patrols. This makes the bandits bolder. Soon, things will quiet down. Until then, Karpusa's coin feeds a few mercenaries, yes?
Yeah, right on, brother man. Let's sell some shit. How much shit have I got?
You are here to trade. Bandits, the storm, it causes...
27 out of 70. Okay, good. Fine.
Pain lies ahead. Turn back, Master. This is not the place for us.
This one does not understand. This shrine is supposed to be lit with an ever-burning flame. Perhaps Shehiradaro has thrown good money after bad.
And who are you?
A simple Khajiit, doing what she can to survive. Sehirodaro came to this shrine for guidance. It said the flame gives visions to those who seek it.
Yeah, what you looking for?
Answers to unasked questions. Mysteries defined by the stars themselves. And if Sehirodaro makes some gold along the way, all the better. This shrine is key to all of these things.
What makes what makes this shrine so special?
It's a shrine to Hermaeus Mora, Daedric Prince of Knowledge. They say if you stare into the fire, all will be revealed. But without the ever-burning flame, there is no way to find the lost books.
Huh? What lost books?
Tomes, lost to the ages. Their holy secrets are maintained now. A connection to our past, and a bridge to our future. It doesn't matter what lies the spirit told. Sehirodaro will find those books.
So a spirit lied to you, huh?
While searching for the shrine, a spirit appeared to me and warned me away. Don't you see? Hermaeus Mora rewards the pursuit of knowledge. The spirit is a test to keep lazy seekers away.
Right. On the flip side then, girl. On the flip side. We'll see you then.
It's the lying spirit.
Don't listen to these fools' words. The forbidden tomes must be destroyed. Place them in the shrine's flame, quickly.
There's no flame.
What? That is
Yeah.
impossible.
Oh.
No matter. I'll rekindle the shrine's fire with my own essence, but you must promise to destroy them. You saw what happens to those who possess the tomes.
Nothing awful's happened to me, though.
Then that is a blessing. Once the books begin calling to you, there is little time before they ensnare you completely.
Burn the books.
Don't let their burden destroy you.
We cannot have DEI in this world. We cannot have diversity, even though it exists. We cannot have inclusion. People must be rejected and thrown away from each other. We cannot have equality. We cannot have kindness or compassion. We cannot show concern for our neighbors or our friends or even our family. We must take all the bad things and instill them in our head and remember, hate is the only way to enjoy this world. Hate is all that matters. That's not my philosophy. I'm not a Republican. But it is theirs. It has been my whole life. Just earlier in my life, while I was growing up, they was better at hiding who they were and what they were up to. But I always knew. My mom made one simple statement to me one time and said, always remember this. This is all you need to know. Republicans only care about companies and money because the companies bribe them with money to do what they want. And Democrats care about the people because they come from the people and they don't forget where they came from. They all get rich from the legal bribery that they call lobbying that goes on in Washington. Companies can come in and bribe you, even write your whole bill for you, and then you just sign your name to it and take it into Congress and say, this is my bill, let's make it a law. There have been many laws passed that were written by companies to benefit them. So, and if you think I'm full of shit, and look what the Republicans did as soon as they took office. The richest Republican of all immediately went in and destroyed all the organizations that had investigations against him. And then he remembered when he was a kid that this USAID, USAID, was against apartheid and helped the black people survive when the white people had taken everything away from them, so that they could continue their protests and continue their rise to regain their freedom and equality, which had been taken away from them by the invading British. But the British, abandoned the whole apartheid thing and left South Africa to its own rule. And what did it become? Nothing. It stayed what it was. A little pocket of Nazis, of white Nazis, controlling the black population around them with force and hate. Because that's what they are. It's what they believe. And that's what the Republicans represent, admire, and want the whole world to be like Russia. What I don't understand is why don't they move to Russia? Russia is already set up exactly how they want it. They're all racist over there. They don't care about each other at all. And they just try to take whatever they can from everybody else without care or concern for anybody else's safety, well-being, or how they got what they got, do the hard work that they did and everything. They believe that force and just taking what you want is the way we should operate in the world, like animals. We should live like animals. And just every man for himself, out running around, killing and taking whatever he wants until a bigger, faster, stronger man stops him. Or people group together and form armies and destroy him and his family. This is the way they want the world to go back to. Back to the medieval days. Back to the Middle Ages. We wouldn't have had the Middle Ages if they hadn't destroyed civilization and critical thought and scientific discovery and all of that when they burned Rome to the ground and tried to destroy all the science that there was. But other countries had taken copies of what Rome had discovered, just like the same thing with the Mayans and all the other civilizations. It wasn't all contained there the whole time. Other people that traveled through saw these things and seen they was amazing and made copies and then took those copies with them to other parts of the world so that they would not be destroyed when all the book burning went on. But that's what they want. That's why they're always so eager to start burning books. The only books that should exist are the ones with their misinformed historical lies, so that nobody knows what really happened in the past. It's always been the plan. And it always will be. The rich enslave the poor. That's what they want, what they've always wanted, what they will always try to achieve. And if you don't believe in all that shit, and you're a Republican, I don't know what to say to you. How can you be at a Satan worshiping service every day and watching them sacrifice and murder newborn babies and drink their blood and go day after day after day, and then one day while you're sitting in there realize that what you're watching is evil and not good? I mean, how can you call yourself a human being and be so stupid? So, you know, they're at the animalistic level because they think everybody else is. And they want everything to be the way it is for them.
No! The flames burn us! It hurts! The aid hurts!
Okay, I committed your evil for you. Now what? Wait.
You've done it. The tomes are gone. I can't hear them anymore.
Sure about that?
I'm certain. But no one...
And the quest is done. I never thought in a million years I'd be so ashamed to be an American. I didn't really think we was the greatest country in the world. I knew we had the most powerful military, and it's a wonderful, wonderful country because we have every environment at the same time. You can go skiing in the mountains of Colorado and jump on a jet and fly to Hawaii and go surfing in 90-degree weather all in the same day, or in the same state. From Northern California to Southern California, two completely different environments going on. I mean, it's just amazing. We have mountain ranges, we have deserts, we have probably hundreds of thousands of lakes throughout the country. It's just a beautiful, beautiful place. And I knew people were always taking it for granted. We all do. But to not care about where we came from or how we got here or who we are as a people. To not care about that at all. And to want to change that into an autocracy that anybody with any sense at all can see right now is failing, crumbling, completely falling to pieces. Because these autocracies and dictators, they don't last ever. They always fail, fall, crumble to pieces, and then they die. And then either some other psychopath takes their place and starts all over again with the promise of freedom and then never delivers it. Or it becomes a democracy and they live happily ever after, like Sweden, Norway, Denmark. But they have problems. They have people that are trying to throw their democracy away too and become Nazis. All these people that fear other people just because of the crease in their eyes or the color of their skin. Or the religion. They have in their lives. And people want to bring up history of thousands of years ago and act like it has something to do with today. Like we have to carry over these ancestors from 1,000 years ago and continue their hate, continue their war, continue their vile beliefs in a God that nobody can prove exists or even cares about you if he or she does exist. Where's the proof that your God cares about you at all? I've never heard of your God saving a nation, but I've heard of him burning down cities and killing a whole planet and saving a family and their friends and a bunch of animals on a boat, which is a bullshit, stupid-ass story. It came from a different story. It's just really sad to know that so many people in this country don't want a democracy anymore. And instead of just moving to a place that is already set up exactly how they want and learning their language, or just finding an area in that country with the group of people that speak your same language so you don't have to learn anything if you don't want to, because every country has that. They have to destroy this country and turn it into that failing nightmare. Went from being admired and viewed as heroes, leaders of the world, to one of the most hated countries in the planet in less than 6 months. Shows you how fast autocracy and dictatorship can destroy everything. First, everything that we stand for and who we are as a people has been destroyed in the eyes of the whole world. Next, the violence against our nation will be justified by all the nations of the world because of the example that we lead now is cruelty, hatred, and death. Not going to war and killing people, though. Oh no. The death of the coward. Killing women and children. The weakest of the weak, poorest of the poor. The ones who are unable to defend themselves. The ones that their Jesus told them they should look after. These are the only ones they attack. The soft targets. Wonder why all the crazy, violent criminals turn out to be Republicans and Trump supporters? It's their mentality. You know, all these fucking mass shooters at schools and shit. If they weren't already, they were growing up to be Republicans, without a doubt. Because they're the only group of people that sit on TV all day and night on their propaganda channel and preach about, talk about, and celebrate their hatred for everybody else in the world that's not them. So the rest of the world is trying to compromise with them and talk to them and try to understand why they hate science and reality so much. They sit around deriving plans of how to destroy those same people that are just trying to get them to understand that you can't have civilization if you're not civil. but to find out that more than half of your countrymen want this country to be disassembled and reassembled as a new modern Russia. It's just fucking heartbreaking. I remember 1976. Me and most of the kids in our school ran 200 miles around the track to celebrate this country's 200th anniversary of being a free nation. And now, 50 years later, I'm ashamed to call myself an American. Well, it's not 50 years later, actually. No. Next year it will be. It's 49 years. I said 50 because the Army parade thing that they want to do, throw away $100 million for no reason. After they fired all these people saying that they had to do this to save money, and then they didn't even save that much money. They didn't even save the amount of money to pay for the fucking parade that he wants to do on his birthday on June 14th. I won't be watching this parade in any way, shape, or form at all. So if people are going to make videos to cover the parade and talk about the parade, I don't care if they're talking good about it, bad about it, or whatever. I'm not watching it at all. Not a fucking minute of it. It's a disgrace. It is disgusting. We are not that nation that celebrates war and death. We honor D-Day because the sacrifice our countrymen made to take that fucking beach in France. And we celebrate the 4th of July, not the war, but the declaration of our independence to become a country. We don't celebrate the dates of the Civil War. We don't celebrate Vietnam. Well, we wouldn't celebrate Vietnam. We lost that. That's one war we wouldn't celebrate anyway. We don't celebrate World War II. We have the anniversary day. We celebrate our veterans. We have Veterans Day. We celebrate our warriors that have fought in many wars and have done more than that. A lot more than that. Because they do a lot more than that. When we have emergencies in our country and people need to be rescued in different parts of the world and things go to hell and things go wrong, they're there to help. Our military does a lot more kind services than they do any kind of military killing shit like every other military in the world. Our military does a lot of good and a lot of humanitarian deeds is what our military has been known for. What they was known for. Now they're going to be known to be racist, bigots, sexist assholes that are not welcoming and not caring to anybody or anything at all. This is what the president wants them to be. So I would expect recruitment to begin plummeting over the next 4 years. There'll be people in the military still because they have to do their time. It's like a prison sentence. You sign the contract, you're in there for 4 years or whatever you sign up for. If you leave, they're going to throw your ass in jail, so it's better to just go ahead and get yourself in good physical condition, learn how to be part of a team, and then, you find out that you're working for a group that's trying to turn us all into Nazis, and you just don't sign the paper to renew your subscription. And what could have been an awesome whole life career choice and everything, and the honor of your country, to running away from your country as fast as you can because of the humiliation
all this wasted
of their leader.
Blasted creatures
It's
get into
just-
everything.
But not just their leader. 72 million people agree that we need to get rid of anybody that's not from here. And destroy anybody that doesn't agree with our viewpoint. Which could change from day to day, week to week. Because this is the same guy that hated TikTok and wanted to get rid of TikTok and now supports and promotes fucking TikTok because he met the owners who came in and bribed him at Mar-a-Lago, and, you know, money and praise will change anything in this Alzheimer's living in dementia-infested idiots. It just made me never want to find any new friends ever again or anything. It just destroyed my trust and belief in America completely.
First the hurricane,
Just
then rats
completely.
from the sea. What next,
I
flying
just don't
mud
see
crabs?
any hope at all in this country now.
Surrender's mercy. We need more time before the inspection.
I'm glad that they finally complied with the fucking Supreme Court, though, and brought them two guys back. But there's 200 and something more that didn't get due process either. You know, due process. The foundation of our country. The thing that started our country.
Dominion inspectors. Headwoman Harani requested their aid to stop smugglers. We're honest farmers with good customers. Our moon sugar is used to spice food, not to brew skooma. When the inspectors learn we can't protect our fields, we're finished. Hairy, squirmy, squeaky little rats. They've infested the plantation since the storm. The inspectors will ask, if we can't protect our fields from those dung-dropping sugar eaters, how can we protect them from skooma brewing thieves?
You know, I didn't even think about politics hardly at all when Joe Biden was president, because the only news was the unemployment rate was continuing to go down, inflation was continuing to go down. And then I heard about the infrastructure bill and the CHIPS Act, because they talked about that on the news, and that was it. There was no craziness happening every day or anything. Just shit that the press kept trying to start up, especially at the end of his presidency. And they're just not going to stop with it because they don't have anything to cover in politics that's really going on. Just everybody's fighting with each other. So they're going to attack the last president and say, the last president wasn't president. All these other people were running the country, and we need to do what about it? What are we going to do about it now? Undo the CHIPS Act? They already did that. So if something happens in Taiwan, we don't have any ability to make our own chips anymore because they canceled that. Infrastructure, nobody's roads and bridges are getting fixed anymore. They canceled all of that and kept the money back. They're undoing everything he did. So what's the complaint exactly? Because everything the old senile guy did that you now hate is being undone. And it's not just him. Every president shit is being undone. Every trade agreement, even the one that he did in his first term, is being undone. So all the World Trade Agreement and shit that Clintons did back then, all the shit that fucking Reagan did, the shit that Ford did, Nixon did, Johnson did, Kennedy did, all of that is all being undone, all the way back to George Washington with due process and citizenship being eliminated. So, kick Lincoln out for his citizenship being born here, you're an American. And all the way back to George Washington, who said he would not be a king and worked on everything he could with the Constitution along with Jefferson and everybody else to try to avert this day. But they never imagined that somebody would get elected that was completely against the Constitution and wanted to take away all of our rights and turn this into a dictatorship and would openly campaign on that, and the people of the country would then elect him. That says that you are not a democracy anymore. The people voted and they don't want this to be a democracy. And that's why I can't stand being here anymore. That's why. It's because the majority of the people in this country voted to undo everything that every president has ever done, all the way back to George Washington. Especially George Washington. It's a special, intense attack against him, his policies, and Lincoln's policies.
Find out why
Their big
Cindertell's
beautiful bill
Cinchtigers roll on
consolidates
their backs
most of the
filling their
power
bellies with rat.
of
Does
the
one
government
expect
into
to
the
keep
hands
his
of the
job if
presidency.
inspectors find
They're talking
vermin
about
in our
Medicare and
fields?
Medicaid cuts. That ain't what the bill's about. That's in there to make you keep talking about that and not talk
At
about all the
best,
rest of the shit
the
that's in there.
inspectors will recommend our moon sugar be confiscated.
They're putting in there that the president or his administration cannot be held in contempt in court for any reason. Which means the next time the court gives them an order, they can simply say, fuck you. And the judge can do absolutely nothing about it. That's a law that they're making that's in the big, beautiful bill. And they're going to push it through as a law. And they're not going to take that out. They're not going to take out all the other shit. It's over 800 pages in size. You think they just wrote on there cut Medicare and cut Medicaid a million billion times on 800 pages of paper? You think that's all they wrote? Things are going to get much worse.
To the east, the
Until
plantation
there's
burns.
no America left.
Was it due to the
That's why
inspector's
I
recommendations?
gotta get my fucking passport and get the fuck out of here and go
Either
to
way,
Europe.
Mistral will weep for our passing.
I don't want to be here.
With laughing moons gone,
Everybody has
skooma
guns.
will flow through the streets.
When everybody loses everything and they start going crazy, it's going to be much different than Russia. The Russians are scared to do anything because they don't have any guns or anything. Everybody in this country has guns. There'll be riots, National Guard, then the military. It's going to be a fucking bloodbath to suppress the people. Because not everybody is going to be peaceful. There's just too many fucking guns.
When
for it to
moon
be.
sugar runs dry, people turn to smugglers.
And it will
With
end with them
smugglers
taking
comes
your
skooma.
fucking guns.
But the inspectors aren't from
That's
here.
coming.
If we tell them, they will not listen.
Within the next 4 years. They're going to do a false flag operation that's going to be so terrible that everybody will agree something has to be done. And they'll put in the first legislation. And inside that, it'll be a little back door, a little loophole that they can use to take everybody's guns away without due process.
Find out why Cindertell's
What you gonna
Cinchtigers
fight
roll
with
on their
then?
backs instead of filling their bellies
Think
with
your
rats.
sticks and rocks are going
Does
to work
one
against a
expect
tank?
to keep his job if the inspectors find vermin in our fields?
The guns ain't going to work anyway either because, you know, they got an Air Force and shit. Because it ain't going to be our Air Force anymore. It ain't going to be our Air Force, our Army, our anything. It's going to be their military against us, the people. Except this time, they don't have to sail across the sea to get to us or go through any kind of hell or anything. They got all the power. They can shut down all of our bank accounts. We're in the process of making our money worthless right now. So, it's just there's so many things happening. It's going to take so long to even try to get the country back in order. But if the big fucked up bill passes, that's the end of America. That's why he calls it the big beautiful bill, because for him, it's the most beautiful thing that it could be. It gives him all the power of the United States in the palm of his hand, gives him full control of the military on U.S. soil, doesn't matter, allows him to use whatever past instances like the War Act shit and all that without speaking to Congress first. Congress is wholeheartedly agreeing with them on everything, but in 2026, if they get kicked and the Democrats are in, then he'll lose all of his power unless they get this bill passed. Then it doesn't matter who the fuck gets elected in 2026. The president will have all the power to do whatever he wants. And they can't do a fucking thing about it because it's the law now. This is what happens when you have full control of the House and the Senate and the presidency and all of it. And you actually use it to take over anything you want. Wonder how many Democrats are saying, God damn it, if I only had a spine. But they don't. They sit around and argue about shit all day long and never get nothing done. The Republicans don't get nothing done for us, but they get shit done for themselves, making themselves super rich and everything. I mean, look at how all of them dress and the cars they drive and all the shit. And they're all supposedly only getting like $40,000 a year, and usually their wives don't work. And they're on vacation all the time on yachts in one of their 5 or 6 houses. How the fuck do you think they can afford all this shit with that puny amount of money that they get from the government? They all getting bribes, all of them. But some of them still work for the people anyway. Even while they're getting bribes, they won't fully commit. Or what it is they just don't take bribes from every company regardless, because they don't give a fuck about the company. They just want the money. And that's kind of the difference. And I guess one of them has better morals and ethics about bribery than the other. The other has no morals, ethics at all about bribery either. I mean, they don't have any about anything at all. It's obvious. They elected a guy who was convicted of fraud, which is, you know, lying, cheating, stealing, 34 fucking times. And then they're standing around, why is he breaking the law? What? I'm sorry, why is the criminal breaking the law? Is that the serious question you're asking now? Why is the criminal breaking the law? Do you know why they call him a criminal? Do you know what a criminal is?
Welcome to Eagle Strand.
I don't think I've really... It just really hurts to be disappointed you know, to go your whole life believing something and then find out it's, you know, it's all a lie. Because according to the rules of democracy, most of the people in this country don't want a democracy anymore. Knowing that, I can't be part of this country anymore. I can't be not only not proud of it, just I don't want to live here. I don't want to be part of it anymore. You know, if I go leave and go live over in Europe somewhere, I'm not going to go live in Russia. Because that's against everything I believed in my whole life. Or China, or any communistic dictatorship country. But that's what they want here. It really is. It's what they want here. He told them over and over. I don't care about you. I just need your vote. If you vote for me, you'll never have to vote again. I promise. This will be the last time you have to worry about this. He said all these things, and they cheered. And they're buying his Trump 2028 t-shirts, knowing that's a direct violation of the Constitution in itself. Can't have a third term as a president. So they're just, you know, showing their support for burning the goddamn Constitution. Wiping their ass with whatever it is they would like to do to make sure it means nothing and is destroyed for all of time. So, you know, all you can do is just hope that there's like reincarnation and there's no constraints on time. So that a person, you know, racist bigot from Charlottesville or whatever runs around being proud to be a Nazi, could be born as a black slave in America in 1684 or some shit. I mean, enjoy that for their life. And, you know, maybe they could even have their memory, too. All of it. Know where they came from, know how the world was, and know that because they're in the year 1600 and something, or 1700 and something, there's not going to be a war, there's not going to be anything to save them. They were born, will live, and die as a slave. Maybe all their slave friends will see that there's something wrong with them, that they really hate themselves and hate all the other black people too, and maybe they'll set them up for things so they can get regular beatings by Massey, so that way they don't get to live in the house. They live outside with the pigs, and they get lashes every other day from the whip for things they didn't do, and nobody ever believes anything that they say, ever. And then they finally get the message of what it's like to scream and beg for everybody to please listen. Please understand what this means. And they all laugh at you, and then when it happens, and it starts happening just like you said it would, they don't have the urge to come up to you and say, "Why didn't you tell us this could happen?" We just don't want them to feel that way anymore. So, you know, hopefully they'll get a awesome life like that. You know, maybe Elon Musk can come back as a fucking mouse. Just running in some old abandoned factory that nobody's been to in years, and nobody's gonna come back to for years either, and it's obvious, you can tell. And he accidentally runs across one of them sticky traps. His feet get stuck, and he can't move. And he realizes that in order to get off the thing, he's going to have to pull all of his legs off and then not have legs to move around anymore, and that's going to kill him. Or he's just going to be there and be stuck until he starves to death and dies. And he's going to slowly starve to death and die. Maybe there'll be lots of other mice walking by with lots of food all the time and won't ever offer him nothing. You can know what it's like to starve to death and die by doing nothing wrong himself. Just like the kids in Africa are going to starve to death and die because he destroyed USAID intentionally to kill children in Africa. And because starving may take too long, or may not cause them to suffer enough, he also made sure that he took their AIDS medication away, so that AIDS will kill them. And it's not like they're doing anything wrong. Like, we're talking about kids that were born with AIDS, because AIDS is still running rampant in Africa because they don't have all the medical shit that we do in America or lots of other places. And most of them don't know there's anything even wrong with them until the symptoms are, you know, full blown. But we do have the ability to keep people alive now, and even take them to the point of being symptom-free, non-contagious. But Elon Musk took all that away. Because he hates the people of Africa, the place he came from. He hates them. And he hates USAID, who supported the abolishment of apartheid, which is just keeping white people and black people separated from each other, and making a law that says you're not allowed to hang around with each other, socialize with each other. You know, certainly can't have sex or get married or any of that. That's a crime. Like Trevor Noah, he's a crime. He wrote a book because his existence is a crime. Because he's a mixed breed, half white, half black. So he's not allowed. At the time he was born, he wasn't allowed to exist in Africa legally. It was illegal for his parents to produce them, for them to have physical contact with each other or any of that.
Too much to do and too little time.
And because that all got undone, and the Nazis in South Africa finally lost, well, that just pissed Elon Musk off. So he's killing all of them as fast as he can through starvation, disease, anything. Anything he can do. Because he is a fucking Nazi and he hates them. Now everybody knows he's a Nazi. He wanted everybody to know he was a Nazi on Trump's inauguration night. Both sides of the aisle. Front and back. Everybody needs to know I'm a Nazi. Proud of it. We're gonna rule the world again. We're gonna do what the fuck we want again. We're gonna have it all. He thought when he got his script at home, though, and was reading his play, his part, that he was going to be playing Adolf Hitler and was going to have all the power. He didn't realize that was Donald's role, and he was going to be Hislur, not Hitler. He was going to be Hislur, the evil, cruel motherfucker that went out and took and did everything to everybody, and then was made to go away. One way or the other, they all go away. But back then, the people weren't satisfied with Hitler's demise. They wanted the real leader to, and he knew they was coming. So he punked out and suicided out with his girlfriend, who was a very, very evil person too. They were both, man, just makes you wonder about Melania, huh? I mean, not really. She's grifting just as much. They forced CBS or somebody to pay him $40 million for a documentary that they haven't even started or produced or anything. Just as a holding thing, a guaranteed $40 million paycheck right off the bat before. And then I'm sure a huge percentage of any dividends that come out, then CBS or whoever it was, they're not going to make nothing at all of it. They're going to lose money on this to try to appease their dictator. And you know, they maybe get the ones who get the last laugh in the end. CBS and ABC and all of them that, and the lawyers and all of them that dropped the knee to Trump at the beginning. They may have saved themselves. While the rest of us are sold to prisons around the world to serve out the remainders of our lives. Either that or become a Nazi. And I just can't imagine becoming a Nazi.
Some people think the law doesn't apply to them.
My grandfather fought the Nazis. And he told me he had never met a more evil group of people on
I
the
hear
earth
your pain, old
than
one.
the Nazis were.
I'm doing what I can.
And he prayed to God that I would never know one, never see one, or never hear one. Ever. In my lifetime. Because of what they represented and what they were.
Coming!
Was the death of our whole civilization. That was their goal. It was the inevitable conclusion, had they won. And now we're
Windcatcher Plantation
on that path
depends
again.
on the great tree. Yet
We
it
just can't get
sickens
rid of the
before my
Nazis.
eyes.
We just can't get
Our
rid of them.
fates are like leaves in its branches.
What's wrong with the tree now, man?
Do you see that
Give
strange
it some water.
miasma? It appeared on the great tree after the hurricane, like a sickness. I've done what I can, but I fear it's not enough.
It's never enough. You want me to do something? Give it some water or something?
There's a cave directly beneath us. I
Yeah.
called a spirit there to heal the great tree's roots, but it hasn't returned. Would you see what holds the spirit back? And aid it if you can.
I'll do what I can.
I can feel the spirit's frustration. It wants to help the great tree, but something prevents it.
What do I do?
The spirit is old and powerful. It seeks to move from root to root, aiding the great tree as it's able. But it's a healing spirit of singular purpose. It doesn't know how to defend itself.
Good God, woman, is the spirit in danger?
I'm uncertain. If so, the spirit must be protected from harm while it heals the great tree's roots. It knows what it must do.
Why is this old-ass tree so important?
The great tree shields Windcatcher Plantation from the winter winds and keeps our settlement shaded from the heat of the summer. Its story entwines with ours.
Must be a pretty big tree to do all that. But how's it different from any other big-ass giant tree?
When the wind goddess Kanathi first traveled across the heavens, legends say she grew tired and rested in the branches of a small sapling before resuming her journey. That sapling became the great tree, and gave Windcatcher Plantation its name.
Okay, but what can I do to help resolve this situational problem?
The spirit is old and powerful. It seeks to move from root to root, aiding the great tree as it's able. But it's a healing spirit of singular purpose. It doesn't know how to defend itself.
I know how to defend things. I'll figure it out, crazy lady. Wait. Is the talk to enter the cave the root of the problem? Okay, that's it right there. It grows inside these rocks. It's pretty tough. Used to have tough roots. They grew through rocks. Probably all wrapped around the rocks down below. Like palm trees do that. They grow down, but they, they're in sand, so that's why. They grow down to the sand and they find big rocks and wrap their roots around the rocks so that when hurricanes come, they don't get ripped out of the ground and thrown about the sea. Thrashed about upon the sea until they fall apart like leaves and trees and leaves and branches and whatever. It's a bad guy. I need to hide. No! Stop looking at me! Stop looking at me! Stop looking at me! Stop looking at me! I'm not really here. I'm not really here. Stop looking at me. I'm not really here. I'm not really here. Stop looking at me. If you stop looking at me, you'll see I'm not really here. That's all you have to do is just stop looking at me. And you will see I'm not really here at all. You're not going to stop looking at me, are you? Okay. We'll do this then. Is there anybody in there? Scrib? What's a scrib? That's a spider. It's got 8 legs. Show me the way. Oh, wait. What's this light over here, though? Let's go do this. I have 2 or 3 or something, and I think it's these lights. Ah! Wah! Wah!
Been a Kwama master for over a decade. I'm not afraid to admit when I'm up to my neck in droppings, and I sure could use a hand getting out.
What's the matter?
Ever try piloting a ship through a hurricane while your entire cargo of Kwama eggs hatch and go bug nuts?
No.
Been there. Can't recommend it. After we wrecked, they made a Kwama line toward this cave. I came after them, but they're a bit distracted.
Distracted how?
They always get surly after hatching, but these Kwama are downright unsociable. I tried to stop them from chewing on those huge roots. They objected. Bumped into a fine-looking tree trunk on my way out. Thought I was done for, but it kept walking.
Must be the spirit trying to heal them roots.
Oh? Kwama didn't take to it, whatever it was. I heard them munching on it, same as those roots. The little ones seem scared of it. If you could help the pretty tree trunk do what it needs to do, I bet they'll head back this way.
And the bigger ones?
If they'd stop eating those giant roots, they might get better. But I don't blame you if you have to put down a few to save the rest. Just be careful. Nothing fiercer than a crazed Kwama. Not even my sister-in-law.
Okay, off to murdering I go then. Where'd he go? He's doing way over here.
Praise Ifrei. The miasma has cleared. Yet I sense this begins a new chapter for the great tree. Though the creatures gorge themselves upon its roots, this was a passing instinct. They can be taught to strengthen the great tree.
Sure they ain't gonna hurt the tree?
The Kwama will soon learn the cave is their nest and treat the spirit as their queen. Together, they'll guard the cave against intruders who seek to harm the great tree. A new story can frighten any creature, until it realizes its role within.
Might have taken these off, cause I can use this now. Are these stackable? Stack all items. I'm scared to press that. I might fuck shit up. I don't know what's happening. Okay, let's see what we got here. same thing, huh? Strike out, restoration. Strike out. Like the same thing too. Strike the bugs, and you come. Aborted binding meal. I don't get it. How do you pick something? You just let go? Hit X? What? L2? No. It just goes. Tools. Tools. What is this? For the world and discover powerful boons to enhance your stats. So, these boons, these are modifiers or cheats or whatever.
I don't know how I feel about these strange bugs, but if...
A great wind blew, and many ships were dashed against Canarthy's island. But you...
Nasty business, these rats. It is a good thing we have so many cats about. Little pests never stood a chance.
Work.
I am out of patience. I will make you leave if I must.
don't care to sail through corpses, but if I dock at Mistral, they'll inspect my cargo. Which is all legitimate, I assure you.
What is it?
I've had enough.
What did you see in that temple? I heard it's full of watery spirits.
Joining the Dominion isn't about what is taken from you, but what we gain from each other. For prosperity, for security, for unity, for the Dominion. The Dominion welcomes all who wish to join. As part of the Dominion, you will gain security. Your chance for untold prosperity comes with Dominion rule.
rats get the better of you, and you call yourself warrior.
Want to buy a carpet? How about 3? They aren't good for much else. Yes, Afe, even you. Do not eat the rats, this one says. Do they listen? No! Stupid cinch. Lazy cinch. They already did. That's the problem. Moon sugar makes you sleepy if you eat too much. Rats eat moon sugar, cinch eat rats, and then lazy cinch. Especially you, Gobani. Not with sugar bellies. These useless cinch could only kill a rat if they fell upon it. From a great height. Go inside, lock the doors, wait until they leave? No. Let this one think. Without cinch hunters, what could... Thunderbugs? No. It would never work. Thunderbugs nest nearby. They defend their delicious eggs from anyone who'd make a meal of them, yes? If you grabbed an armload of eggs... Undoubtedly, but they'd hesitate to harm the eggs once you possess them. Smash an egg into each rat nest, and the Thunderbug's electric frenzy kills the rats before the inspectors arrive. You're sturdy, yes? A little shock won't stop you. Wonderful! Save some eggs for Cindertail, yes? They are so very tasty.
work isn't going to do itself. A little help here would be nice.
I would not do that if I were you.
I could use a break.
We did not expect you so soon, Inspector Tarma.
One must arrive early.
There's always more to do. Another distraction.
Halderil, make a note. Unorthodox methods, but vermin-free.
Sir.
Clever luring thunderbugs out of their mounds like that. A scheme worthy of Bandar himself. They're all gone then? Excellent. Our gracious inspector has been most patient with us. Perhaps witnessing your ingenuity will affect his findings. Joan and Joe dance kindly with you, Walker. Whatever the findings of our esteemed inspector, we are in your debt.
So much to do.
I don't care to sail through corpses, but if I dock at Mistral, they'll inspect my cargo. Which...
Somerset's days of isolation are over. You will...
I don't care to sail through corpses, but where do you need to go? I can take you to Vulkelgard. Bah, all my business here has dried up. At least I won't have trouble with the inspectors in Oredon. Which rarely happens.